Good morning and welcome to the Real Estate Show. My name's Paul Murray. I've got 24 years of experience in the real estate business, and I'm privileged to be here today with Michael, who's stepping in for Ingrid, who's out there in the field at the moment. But today we're going to be talking about various different topics about real estate investing, where to buy, how to buy, the tips and tricks and all the different things about real estate that maybe you might like to know about. So,
I welcome you.
Hi Michael, and welcome to the show.
Oh, I was excited when you offered me to come on. I went, great, Ingrid's out in the field. And you went,
she gets all the lucky parts, doesn't she?
But you know, Paul, when you said you were going to do this show, I think one of the things that fascinated me about real estate, there's so many things that people don't know. And then a lot of people say, how did you get into real estate? I mean, how did you get into real estate yourself?
Well, that's a really good question because I had always had a goal of selling large items and being involved with sales, but I've always liked helping people. And I think the thing about it is with property is that we all need a place to live. We all need a place, a house where we have, the shelter, we have protection, we have some security, we've got the investment asset. And I thought, what a great business to be in to help people find somewhere that they can make their home.
So, Paul, one thing that fascinated about me, because you were in, management side of the business before you bought a franchise. How did that transition? How did you get into that area?
Absolutely. Well, my background in sales led me into management that led me into training and developing people. And the great thing about that was that when I was involved in a training business as a part-time role, in addition to my corporate role, I had an opportunity to meet lots of people in real estate. And I thought, wow, what a great industry to be in. And they used to talk about it, tell me lots about how they helped many people and how satisfying it was. So, I set my goal to get into that business, and I got in there as the trainer for real estate agents. I actually had a training background. I started training and developing real estate agents for the Elgin Hooker Group. I was the training manager in Western Australia. I then flew in and flew out of Adelaide and trained the people over there. And I also trained the people in Victoria. So that was how I got into it. And then as I progressed on through my role as the training manager within Elgin Hooker, I then carried on to become the state manager. And as a state manager for a few years, I looked around and thought, well, my next goal is to buy a business by the age of 40. So I had an opportunity to get into a franchise in Rockingham. And we took on Rockingham and Baldivis at the same time, and the rest is history. I've been there for quite a few years now.
Wow. Now, there's going to be a lot of business owners out there, and there's probably people out there who actually want to get into business themselves. I know this might be a bit of a sidestep, but you went from what someone would say, well, you had this great, secure job.
Absolutely.
And then they go, and you did this crazy thing and went and bought a business.
My mother-in-law was just telling me the other day how when we were transitioning from a corporate role with a company car and a beautiful office into real estate, commission only, my father-in-law was distraught. What was I doing? Because my wife was pregnant due to have a baby. And they thought I was absolutely crazy.
If someone's making that... you made that transition now, and looking back, if someone said, look, I want to get into business myself, this is a bit of a side note, but I'm a bit nervous, what would you actually say, especially when people are going, hey, you're crazy? What would you say after you've actually done it and made the leap?
Look, the leap of faith to get into a business is certainly no easy feat, but there is a lot to consider. There's a lot to learn and there's a lot to do. And I think, one of the things that Ingrid and I are learning within the business of owning a business, we've had it for a number of years, is that you never stop learning. You're always learning. And, I think that if you've got the desire to be able to help people and you've got the desire and the passion to actually, be in the business for the long term, you will be successful at it if you continue to learn.
One thing that struck me, I've spent a little bit of time in your office with your staff. You've got almost this family feel to your business. Do you feel by having that in your business that translates to your customers? Is that part of why you've expanded so rapidly and continuing to grow as well? What is that culture you've got going on down there?
Well, I think first off, the franchise that we're within, they do have a family culture, and they've created that, and we've created that same thing in our office. Look, we do. We really feel privileged to have all the staff we've got because they are family people, and when we employ those people, we're just not employing that person, we're actually providing an income for their whole family. So they are part of us. We spend a lot of time every day with our team, and so they do become family. In actual fact, some would argue the point that we probably spend more time with our staff than we do our real family.
And I guess a lot of business owners would say that. But I've got to talk about real estate, Rockingham, and and anyone that knows Rockingham, especially if you're thinking of buying or renting a property, Rockingham itself is a very family-centred community area in just the south of Perth. It's only like 40 kilometres out of Perth anyway, so it's almost CBD anyway. But did that attract you to that? When that opportunity came up to buy into Rockingham, was that part of the attraction as well? This has got a really good feel to this area.
Absolutely. The area has a fantastic feel about it, but it is a family-orientated area, and I believe that's because of the fact that the real estate prices there are so competitive and so reasonably priced that a lot of young families can afford to buy in the area and be so close to the ocean. So, it's an area that has the great shopping, great parks, really great beachfronts and beaches that have won great awards. And the property prices are so affordable. So that was a big attraction.
So we've got that family aspect. Now, you're going to be covering lots of things on your show. I know you're going to be talking about how to get loans, and make sure you get the right ones so you don't get caught out like people do, and how to, get the insurances in place to protect you and your family and your environment. But one of the things that I think may be a bit of a secret about Rockingham is this investor opportunity that is there, that is getting overlooked, but allowing mums and dads to invest into property where, in other words, they may not be able to afford into. And you've done a bit of investing in this area yourself and had some absolutely sensational results from it. Can you give us this bit of an insight?
Okay, absolutely. Investing into in any area, I think it needs to be affordable, and affordability is the key. And our area has a lot of affordable suburbs within the Rockingham area, and that brings in a whole host of different people. And it's great for mums and dads that want to better their future retirement by having an investment property, and having affordability is the key. So for early 300s. $300,000 up to around $400,000, you get a superb investment that's so close to the ocean. And where in Australia can you buy that is, got ocean front, only a matter of a few streets away at such a competitive price?
Yeah, I mean, one that I actually had a look, when you told me this, I actually started having a look, and there's one, I think it was like just over 300 or 400 metres away from the ocean, 500 or 600 metres might be, but you'd walk there with the kids. 3 bed, 1 bath, and it's in the 300s. And I'm going, you can't get near beach for 300s. And when you said to me, Michael, you could go to another suburb and pay 500,000 or 600,000, where here you can buy 2 now. And I think Kawasaki says this in his investment. If you can buy 2, you've got safety as well. But I find that Rockingham's rentals, your experience of when people renting property, you don't have a problem renting it either. What's driving this? Why do you think this is so special?
Affordability. Affordability is the key. You're right, Michael. With the property prices, and I've got a personal example myself. We invested into a property that's 700 metres from the ocean in Waikiki. We bought it at a really great price. Many years ago, it's grown over the years. It's around about the 350,000 now. It's a 3-bedroom, 1 bathroom on a fantastic 700 square metre flat block of land. Perfect for an investment. But there's many like that. There's many like that. So, it really gives you that opportunity to buy something so close to the ocean, but so close to great parks, but great schools.
I was going to say, is this why it's attracting families? Because Rockingham has got some absolutely... the shopping centre blew me away, but the school structure down there is just... It's just world class. It seems like there's a lot of investment going into getting really high quality schooling for kids and for families down there.
The schools really have excelled down there. There's no question about that. And the facilities and the community environment with the schooling has been a big draw card. And once again, you asked about the price. What actually occurs there is that because the property price is so reasonable to purchase, it's also very reasonable to rent. So younger families, obviously, that are in the renting space and they're saving for their deposit and they're having children and you know, they're building their life, it's a great place to start, you know, because it's got everything. It's got great shops, great schools, great beach, great location, and a very much a community environment down there. So it's kind of like a holiday home to some people in some way, but they live there, you know, all the time. It used to be a holiday resort area,
It did,
you know,
didn't it?
many years ago, and I think you still get that holiday feel. It still has that feel of, you know, I'm on break or I'm on holidays. You know, in an actual fact, you know, you're working, and you know, it's great.
Well, I think we've covered a lot on that. So it's actually great for investment, but the pricing is making it affordable for families as well,
Yes.
and for rentings. But we're having a look at investments on this because that attracted me. So I'm kind of slanting your show for you. But maybe what we should do is cross to Ingrid, because I know she's out and about at the moment, and she's going to show off a couple of these in properties that you can get and actually show some of the features and what is actually around Rockingham and that lifestyle you're going to buy into.
Great. I'd love to introduce you to Ingrid, my business partner. She's out there right now showing some great properties. So, hello Ingrid, how are you?
Hi Paul, talking about investment properties. I'm at a property in Kentia Close in Warnbro at the moment. It's a real gem of a property. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, which was rented for around the $330 a week mark. Now this property's on the market for anywhere between, I would say, low to mid 300s. It's a very good purchase property. This one also comes with a massive workshop at the rear of the property, which is an absolute steal because of the fact that we don't get a lot of properties with the workshops in them. It's got a fully undercover patio, which is a pitch roof, double garage. Really great for an investment property for a future buyer. So, you know, come down here and have a look because they're well hidden and there's not many of them. So I just thought I'd like to share with you some of the three top tips. I'm going to take you to a beachside property later on, but the 3 top tips that I believe for buying an investment property are clearly locations. So location to schools, location to shops, location to the beach location, which is, you know, fantastic for Rockingham. This one does fit all of those fields. The other thing that I would be looking for is points of difference in the property. So if it's got a workshop or if it's got a pool, not necessarily spas, but definitely pool tends to get rid of a property quite quickly on the rental market. Early summer's great. Make sure you fix them into a 14-month lease agreement though, so you just squeeze through that winter period into the coming spring months. The other one that I would recommend too is high return. So if the property's well presented and it's in those locations and it's got that little special feature, you often can maximise the rental income that you're receiving. Buy low, high rent, suddenly before you know it, you've got capital gain and bingo, you're a great investor. Now I'm going to take you to a super special location by the beach. And as we've spoken about, this is a great investment property that we've talked about previously. This is 388 Safety Bay Road. It's a 942 square metre block located on the beachfront. If you look behind me at the moment, you'll see the view that you're going to see from your kitchen, your lounge room, your dining room, day in, day out. So this property has a 942 square metre block that's subdividable. It's zoned R20, $750,000. Where can you buy that kind of value? Rockingham really is an amazing place to go. So what we're going to do is going to take a wander through the home. We'll show you some pictures and then you might catch me down the beach later on because it's such a fantastic place to come and have a coffee and just relax and enjoy your lifestyle that you're going to be living in. This property has a duplex. It's basically a duplex block. And you can lease the property out as an Airbnb, or you can just rent one part of the property out and live in the front part of the property. And as we've said, Paul, Rockingham, it's got to be the most secret location for investors. It's a hidden little paradise that nobody knows about. And we want you to come down here and buy. For those of you that want to live by the beach, have a look at that view. You won't get that anywhere else. Thanks for joining me down here in Rockingham today, and particularly for coming to see the property with me down on the waterfront. It's a secret one that we have. Rockingham's such a beautiful place to live, and there's so much down here that people are not aware of. It's a secret little gem that's in the middle of nowhere. Come and see us. We have some huge cultural activities down here. We have Rockingham Beach Cup. We've got beautiful restaurants, beautiful hotels, beautiful coffee shops, beautiful sunshine. And back to you in the studio now, Paul. Thank you very much, and I'm off to get a coffee.
Okay, welcome back, and that was great to see you out there, Ingrid, enjoying yourself in the sunshine and the beautiful surroundings of Rockingham. But we're back in the studio and we're running out of time, so next week what we're going to be covering is more along the lines of how to find the best investment, what to look for in an investment property, and also what sort of insurance you need to have in place for an investment property. And that's really, really important that we do cover those things, because there's a few tips that we can offer you there, and we'd love to chat to you more about those on the next show. Thank you.
Well, that's been absolutely fantastic. Well, look, it's been an absolute pleasure to get into sitting in the studio with you on your very first inaugural show. Right. And maybe next time I might better sneak in with Ingrid and go do some of these tours that she's doing down there. But Paul, that is absolutely fantastic. Your main aim of this show, though, is to educate buyers and sellers and people renting. And I just think it's absolutely sensational. I really am looking forward to this show. It's fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Absolute pleasure.